there, my name is Chad Nicely. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now today I've got a very special guest. I have a hard time with her last name. I've always called her Angela K. She's one of my power users from Everlesson. What's up, Angela?
What's up, Chad? Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So I'm going to set this whole thing up, okay? So Angela comes into the Everlesson platform when we launched back in August the first time. She and her friend attend our live event in Vegas. And I have to tell you, the two people in the room that were like glued to me the whole time listening to every word was you and Naomi. Now, by the time this event's over with, I'm like ready to fall down. And I'm like trying to sneak out the back door, trying to get out of there. But everybody's like bombarding us and they want to sit down and everything else. So I go out to the lobby and here I find Angela and I find Naomi and they got their laptops open after being at a two-day event all day. And they're working. And so I sit down with them. They're like, okay, what do we do with this lead capture page strategy? And what should we do with this funnel? And how should we route this? And what about our if follow-up? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, can you guys like stop and take a breather? Like you guys were but I saw the look and I knew it. And actually, as I was leaving the hotel that night, you guys had your phone out there and you were going live and you're like, hey, we just attended the live event or whatever. We're out here facing our fears. We're going live. And I remember getting in the car going, oh man, they're going to crush it. They're going to crush it. Right? So you guys become a very, very active voice inside of our community or whatever. And we started laying out strategies because people started selling membership sites, but I thought they weren't getting enough money. We were seeing like, $1,000, $2,000. So what we did was we started putting strategies out there to help you get in front of business owners, right? And so I don't want to reveal that strategy, become a part of the group and you'll learn it, but you were like the biggest action taker of all. And that's pretty much where we're at. So I'm like, hey, I have to interview you because you're such an inspiration to everybody that's scared to go out there and face their fears. So that's where we're at with this whole thing. And now I'm going to let you talk. And why don't you tell us about what you do?
Absolutely. Well, I'm a media marketing strategist, and I really like the fact that the strategies that you guys shared with us inside of the Everlesson platform, that they actually worked. There were so many things. You saw me and Naomi working like that afterwards because that's what we're used to doing. We're used to kind of getting our hands in there and getting everything done, and actually giving things a shot. So it was nothing for us to be able to face our fears and jump out there. But I know a lot of people struggle in that space. And so one of the things that the Everlesson platform has allowed is not only the strategy, the step-by-step pieces, but the immense amount of support inside of the platform was huge. Even though facing our fears, it was easy for us to kind of live stream and do some different things. The strategies that were proposed to get in front of other business owners simply wasn't my strong suit. And so for me, it was about, okay, how do I actually do this? How do I actually walk this out? And then how am I then going to get the support around being consistent with these strategies? And so I really love the fact that I got all of that support inside of the Everlesson platform. And I was really excited to see other people facing their fears as well. As a result, I can honestly say that I'm in front of consistently a new amount of business owners every 2 weeks. So much so that I actually have to pull back and really focus on some other areas, because now from being in front of them, I'm getting more and more referrals on a regular basis. So I'm so grateful for not only showing us what the strategies were, but actually giving us the support we needed to make sure that we were consistent with that.
Yeah. And now, are you getting paid?
I am. So I will have to say, I will have to be honest. I didn't think it was going to work. I was probably one of the biggest skeptics, but I didn't want to put that kind of energy in the group. I obviously didn't think it was going to work. But from the first time I actually applied the strategy, I had clients. And it just ended up being more clients each time I actually put the strategy into place. And so for me, it's been huge. And I really appreciate being able to know that.
Cool. Awesome. So you have experience with membership sites. Like I know you have, like your portfolio is very, very diverse and vast and it's massive. So tell me about some of the experience you've had with previous membership platforms.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, before we stumbled upon Member Hub, which is now Everlesson, we looked at several different membership platforms as a way to deliver to a larger number of people. Naomi and I were part of a health and wellness company, and we were starting to get in front of corporate crowds and bigger numbers of people. It was bigger than just kind of going to a live event where there was only maybe 50 to 100 people in the room. We were starting to get in front of thousands with corporate opportunities. And so we had no real way to service all of these people using our current platform. So we had to come up with a way, and the membership site was one of the things we thought of. And so after looking at several different types of membership sites, one of the things that we quickly learned was not many of them created a platform for people to not only be able to learn and retain the information, but also be able to be entertained while learning the information. And that's one of the things that stood out to us when we learned about Member Hub, which is now Everlesson.
Did you find it to be easy?
It was super easy. I went through all of the different instructional videos. I thought that was amazing. That was something that I did not find with other platforms. And the level of support when anything felt different or unfamiliar was absolutely second to none.
What would you say is your favorite part about talking about the overall features or how it's laid out or whatever? What separates Everlesson from the other membership platforms? Because people that are watching this are like, man, I've seen memberships before. It's no big deal. Like, besides the community, like we know that the community rocks, right? We know people are experiencing success bigger than anything they've ever done. But what is like that big main feature for you that's just like the whole wow factor? What is that?
Two things, actually. One is the gamification, because people love a nice dose of competition and it keeps them engaged and involved. And then two is the types of integration. At the core of who I am is strategy. And so as businesses and brands evolve, it's great to be able to know that I don't have to reinvent the wheel or move to another platform because mine doesn't integrate other different types of things. And so one of the things I learned was that Everlesson has the ability to integrate so many different things that will support the people inside of your membership site. Those are my two things, the gamification and the ability to integrate other different types of entities within that platform and not have to go to another membership platform.
So can you explain how you would deploy the gamification with what you're doing?
Absolutely. So basically for the corporate health and wellness programs, one of the things I really love was that as people move through the different lessons, because we teach in 4 core pillars. And so as they move through these core pillars, they're able to not only get points and see the rank of the other people that work with them, but they're also able to win prizes and get incentives. The number one reason why a lot of people that work in the corporate arena don't stay well is because, number one, their health and wellness programs aren't giving them what they want. And so this gamification allows us to start to see what people really want, what gets them excited to actually stay well. The next reason why they fall off is because the community, they don't feel like they're surrounded with people at work who want to be well also. And so this gamification allows them to be able to see, okay, wow, my partner down the aisle just hit, this status. And so it lets them really get in there and see that right inside of their company culture, they've got a lot of support. And those are the things that we teach when we're there live with them.
So you just hit on a very, very valuable point, which is the community. And I watch you, like I'm watching what you're doing with the joystick and everything. And that is a really cool little gadget. I'm waiting to get mine. Like I cannot wait to start using that. But what that is her and her partner created like almost, I guess it was like a tripod, but allows you to have a iPad and a phone, and you can like rotate it all different directions. You can completely go 360. And so you're able to go live on like Instagram and Facebook Live at the same time. And it's so cool because you can extend it or, you can shorten it, whatever you want to do. So that's called the joystick, and it's joystik.com.
Yes, joystick.com.
Okay.
And they can use the code Angela20 and get a hefty discount.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
it's news to me also. So
okay, well, there's a shameless plug for you. joistik.com. You guys got to check that out because that's what I will be using, right? So, okay, the community. So I watched you on that live feed and everything, and I watch your comments go boom, 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 boom. And I watch you and I watch Naomi. You're very, very smart with what you do. You choose very, very controversial topics. And, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but they go and they make a post on their wall and then they don't get a response. Now, I've tested this. And if I go make a post on my wall and it can be controversial, whatever, I don't always get a response. But if I ask a question, it goes boom, 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 boom. Everybody gets involved, right? So you obviously have a strong following and you have a strong community. How important is the community today with your product or service, with what you're offering?
I think the community is really strong with it. Most of the people that I try to stay in front of are either busy professionals or entrepreneurs. They are people that are looking to be informed. They are also people that are looking to be entertained. And in many cases, one of the things I love to be able to do on my platform is create what's called a pattern interrupt, but without being so controversial that it turns people off. I find that everybody has an opinion and they are dying to share it. So as long as you're asking something that's controversial and that drives engagement, your community will stay plugged into what it is you're offering. And that's what I try to do and inspire them along the way as well.
So now, how are you able, you just said that you're in front of like corporate leaders and things like that. How are you able to get in front of those leaders? Are you doing all that with social media as well as your live events? Or like, what's your biggest recommendation for people that are watching this show? They're saying, that's what I want to do. I want to have those kind of clients as well, right? I don't want to sell a $7 digital product. I want to sit down with that Fortune 500 company owner. How do we reach him?
So if that's what they're looking to do, number one, they've got to be clear on what their messaging is and what their intent is. They don't know who it is they're talking to. The message is never going to land with the right person. So it really is about getting clear on what your brand does and what it intends to serve, what purpose it intends to serve. And then the second thing, which I always tend to teach in front of these owners, is to be able to know where your people are hanging out. If they're millennials, you need to be on Instagram and Twitter. If they're corporate professionals, you know you need to be on LinkedIn, right? And so you can have a presence on several platforms and really have a strategy for the platform where your people are actually hanging out.
I see.
That's what I'm saying.
So you have, and Jimena is a very good friend of mine, and she knows LinkedIn very, very well. And she was showing me, she's like, Chad, you know, the number one mistake that everybody makes on LinkedIn is they treat their page like a resume. She goes, you don't do that. You take your LinkedIn profile and you make it a sales page. You sell you, right? And so with each platform, whether it be LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, you know, Facebook, whatever it is, there's a different strategy for each one.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's about really digging into that strategy and then having, you know, clarity around what your messaging is, because that's what's going to trigger the pattern interrupts, how you put the information out there, and then you'll start getting engagement.
Awesome. Awesome. That's such a valuable tip. And that's something that I'll be honest with you, not my greatest strength. Like the only thing I got going on.
I love social media strategy.
Yeah, the only thing I got going on with Instagram is when my kids get on the phone, they're like, Dad, you got all these followers and everything. I'm like, I don't even know how to get to it, right? I refuse to. It's like Facebook and Twitter was like where it stopped with me. I refuse to adapt to Instagram and Snapchat. And because to me, Snapchat, you know, my kids send me these videos and they got like rainbows coming out of their mouth and they got like donkey horns and like unicorns and all kinds of stuff. And I thought that's what Snapchat was. But basically wherever the people are, there's a way to monetize these people on these platforms.
Go there and serve them. Yes. Go there with your messaging, with your branding, and look stunning and serve them there. Yes.
Where do you, so since you're so involved with social media and everything, like where do you see this going? What do you predict?
Oh man, I would love, like one of the things I would like to do, and I've been working on, are templated things. So I know that a lot of people that I've run into not only struggle with their messaging, but they also struggle with being able to give bite-sized pieces of what they offer to people without giving away the farm. And so one of the things I created was a lead magnet template, and it's just plug and play, and it will give you a lead magnet that's highly specific. It serves the purpose. It solves a problem, and it doesn't matter what niche you're in. And so I've just been putting together these pieces, and specifically for companies that have network marketing, because all day long they bombard social media with their products, and they're like, nobody buys it. And they say, because you're not serving, you're not really helping people. But there are billions of people online, and they would gladly buy from you if you could actually speak to what their problem really is. And so I've been focusing on that particular area, and have been grateful enough to be able to work with some of those larger companies. So those are the things that are coming up for me now. And I really love seeing business owners really go from a great idea to starting to make their first dollar. And that really is something that's near to my heart, because I want to see their businesses grow and see them serve other people as well.
What did you do before you got into marketing, social media, everything you're doing now?
I was actually in the field of anesthesia. I've been in some form of medical field right now for probably about 17 years. And then prior to that, I worked in the federal government for about 5 or 6 years. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades, to be quite honest with you. But I grew up in a household with entrepreneurs. And so entrepreneurship was something that I'd learned from being a small child. It was just always something that I knew. But for me, I always needed structure. So school was something that always kind of grabbed at me. But the thing that pulled me into entrepreneurship, especially in the health and wellness space, which is where I started, was the fact that I got a lot of patients that end up becoming my clients later on, that they were struggling with things that could easily be fixed with food, right? And so they were having these critical medical issues that just small tweaks with their diets and their habits could really save their lives. And then I noticed that there were things that I needed, further education with coaches like you and mentors who would help me be able to hone my skills to serve these people where they needed me the most. And so that's kind of how I got into entrepreneurship. And I just fell in love with strategy and how businesses come together, and how a person can go from not having a strategy, not having a plan, but just a simple idea, and then how they can begin to monetize on that.
Yeah.
So that's where my thing is now.
Yeah, and it's awesome to watch that whole entire thing unfold, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I get to experience that every day. Every day I wake up, I'm just like, wow, like that was cool, right?
Absolutely.
So this is your all-time high. You're in a good place, and just sky's the limit, and you're just off to the races.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm excited about it.
So there's no doubt in my mind that you have just inspired thousands of people. What would you say to that person who are they're their own worst enemy, and their subconscious is getting the best of them, and they're saying, this stuff is too good to be true, and I don't have what it takes? Like, what would you say to that person?
Everything's not going to be perfect. Don't doubt it. Do it. Don't wait. Just do it. Just for 1 second, think that every single thing will go right, and then step out on it. Just come outside of your head and go do it. That's what I would say, because I was a skeptic, and I was like, just for 1 second, what if it did work? What if it did work? What if I acted on it and it worked? And so I'm the result of that. So that's what I would tell them, swap doubt for action and do it.
Awesome. Great advice. Angela, thank you so much for taking the time and hanging out with me today. And I just believe that you just touched and inspired so many lives. And you're one of my members that just excites me. And I'm just like, wow, we almost didn't do that event. And I'm so happy that we did that event just to hear, how your whole story turned out and everything else. Like, that's such an inspiration to me. And I'm so very grateful that you're out there just crushing it. It's just exciting. And that's what keeps us going.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything, and thanks for having me.
No problem. Everybody else, thank you so much that tuned in, and we'll see you on another interview. Take care.